Thank you, Chris. A warning to share for parents with infants and toddlers, or if you have friends with kids in this age group, make sure you pass along this information. Many baby food products have tested positive for some very dangerous chemicals. This is according to a new study from the Clean Label Project. It's a nonprofit group that advocates for transparent labeling. 11 Live medical correspondent Dr. Sujatha Reddy is here. So what chemicals are we talking about here?
Yeah, so in the group of baby food that they tested, they actually found levels of arsenic, lead, cadmium, and we have a graphic of these four so people can keep track of it, and something called acrylamide. And these were kind of, scary chemicals because these are associated with learning difficulties in infants and children. They're associated with neurological problems. Arsenic in high levels has been found to damage the nervous system and lead to cancer. So on the surface, this is obviously very disturbing, and it should be. But one of the things is we know in our groundwater is arsenic. So even in the food that all of us eat that grows in the ground, there's some amount of arsenic. So while this is alarming, it may not be new, but it's something we need to be aware of and keep track of.
Because when we were looking at the percentages you were sharing, that's over half of the products tested for arsenic and cadmium anyway.
Yep.
That's pretty...
It's very prevalent.
Unsettling. And then are there specific brands that really rose in terms of most often being found with these chemicals?
There were, and this is going to be disturbing. We have a graphic of this too, and what's going to be disturbing is these are probably the most common brands parents buy for their babies.
I've gotten all of these
do
recently.
too. Gerber, Enfamil, Plum Organics, and Sprout, and these are good companies. So again, I think it's something we have to be aware of, and maybe one way you can decrease how much exposure you're giving to your baby is perhaps try to make your own baby food some of the time. That is very time consuming and not practical for everybody. But maybe you mix it up a bit. Another way to probably decrease the amount of these contaminants is to vary the food, and pediatricians tell us this all the time. They want you to give your child a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, and since some of the fruits and vegetables and products had higher levels of these metals and chemicals, mixing it up is going to help. One of the worst culprits when tested was actually the rice-based products. And that's probably how rice is grown because it lives in water, lives in the ground for a long time, and that's where most of the arsenic comes from. So maybe you don't feed your baby rice puff snacks every day. You're going to have to sort of mix it up and think about it a little bit.
So not to stop buying these products altogether. It's just if sweet potatoes are the thing, just every couple of days, just intermittently.
Mix it up. You got it.
Okay. And make it if you can. The food processor,
I
always have good intentions to do that. Now maybe I'll try a little harder. All right. Thank you for the important information. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Dr. Reddy.